Good morning, everyone. My name is Jeanette Baker, and I am the marketing coordinator here at United Way of Connecticut. I want to thank you all for joining me today for today's webinar on the Healthy Lives Connecticut website. Before we get started, just a few housekeeping items I'd like to go over. Your audio will be muted throughout the webinar. However, you can use the Q&A box in your webinar controls to type in any questions you may have. And I hope to have a few minutes at the end of the webinar to answer them. But if I don't, I will follow up with an email. The PowerPoint and the webinar recording will be emailed to everyone who registered. The recording will also be posted on our 211ct.org website under the Professionals tab. So let's get started. When we think of health, we typically think of our physical health, but health goes beyond visits to the doctor. While these visits are important for preventing and treating health conditions and diseases, they don't offer a full picture of health and wellness. Wellness also includes other aspects of our life. This would include things like financial, social, and emotional wellness. Neglecting any of these areas can reduce our overall health and wellness. So focusing on the way these different aspects of health and wellness work together to affect a person as a whole is termed a holistic view. And the Healthy Lives Connecticut website targets 4 main wellness areas. Oops, sorry, having a little technical difficulties. Can't advance my slide here. Just a moment, please. The 4 wellness areas that we're highlighting on the Healthy Lives Connecticut site are emotional, physical, holistic, and financial. Currently, we also have 2 subcategories. These include addiction and youth emotional wellness. So I'd like to go over to the website so that we can explore the site. Here at the top, you will see the 4 areas: emotional, physical, holistic, and financial. And on each of these pages, the layout is similar. We're looking to have consistency, so no matter what page a user goes to, they would be able to easily navigate the page. So on the left-hand side, you will see an intro tab, a Learn More tab, and a Resources tab. And also below that, you will see a Calendar section. On the right-hand side, you will see a Need Help Now, an interactive online screening tool, as well as Tumblr and Twitter links. So to go over each section, on the Intro tab, here you see, it provides general information on each wellness topic. So for example, on the Emotional Wellness tab, under Learn on the Intro section, it talks about the early warning signs, about someone who may be experiencing a mental health problem, such as having low or no energy, having unexplained aches and pains, yelling or fighting with family and friends. And then it also talks about, it gives you some scenarios of what to do if, for example, someone I know may be at risk of suicide. My child has lost someone to suicide. Versus if we were to go to the Physical Wellness page, under the Intro tab, you would find it talks about the importance of physical wellness, how taking care of your body can help you get healthy and stay well, about the importance of having a nutritious diet, and how to improve your physical wellness with some tips such as get adequate rest, eat a variety of healthy foods, control your meal portions. On the financial wellness side, the intro tab would talk about things such as how financial wellness reduces stress, how it boosts productivity, and how financial wellness means being prepared for emergencies. So that's what the intro tab gives a user to the site. When the user clicks on the Learn More tab, they are able to drill down to specific topics such as seasonal affective disorder, dating violence, hoarding on the emotional wellness side, on the financial wellness side. If they were to click on the Learn More tab, they would be able to drill down to topics such as, if I were to click on savings, they could learn about individual development accounts, the earned savings programs. They could click on the taxes to learn more about tax info. And on the physical wellness tab, if they were to click on Learn More, they can drill down to various categories from child development to healthcare to nutrition to physical challenges. So if I were to click on healthy children, I see a series of topics I could drill down on, such as if I were to click on school-based health centers. It brings me to one of 211 CT's e-library papers. The majority of these links that the user is going to find on the Learn More are links to 211's e-library, which, if you're not familiar with it, it is a collection of around 400 subject guides that were originally created to help our 211 contact specialists assist callers. But now they are available on our website, on the 211ct.org website for the general public. These papers, as you can see here with the school-based health centers paper, are written to be easily understood without having to be an expert on a topic. It starts out very similar to on the Healthy Lives Connecticut website. It starts out with some general introduction about what the topic is. So it describes what is a school-based health center. And then typically always at the end, you will find a link that will go back to the 211ct.org database of human services to find services on school health programs. So now as a user, I've learned about school-based health centers. Now I want to know where I could find one. So if I were to click on this link, it brings me into the database where I can then, right now it's showing me all of Connecticut. I could narrow that down by my own town to say, is there one in Rocky Hill? And here I would see where they are located in my area. So that is the Learn More tab on Healthy Lives Connecticut. So it just basically helps the user drill down to a specific topic. Next, they would be able to go to the Resources tab. Here the user is provided with a variety of resources to get the help they need. Most of the resources are provided through the 211 database of programs and services, where I had mentioned earlier, the user can then narrow the results down by a town and other filters, which we will go over. So for example, under the holistic wellness page of wellness, if a user were to click on resources here, they could find, they would be able to find resources on wellness programs, volunteer opportunities, And if a user were to go to the substance use disorder page, under resources, they would be able to find help with things like methadone detox, Narcan prescribing pharmacists, as well as support groups. So if I were to click on the alcohol dependency support groups, it does bring me over to the database where I can then filter by, again, a town. I can say, right now it gives me all of Connecticut. That's the default for the site, for Healthy Lives Connecticut. So I can say I'm looking for a AA group, support group in Avon. And here are some suggested terms that the site will ask you about if you're interested in those as well. But I can also do, I can choose the advanced filters, because not only can I filter by town, but I can also filter by days open. I want to narrow my search down to, like, I know I can only go maybe Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. I can say I'm looking for a particular age group. So maybe I'm looking for my son, who I am concerned that he may have a drinking problem. So he's in between the ages of 17 and 24. And then I can also do a target populations as well for older adults, youth, women, etc. So now that I've chosen my filters, I can filter my results, which really, it helps the user, once again, not to be overwhelmed with like programs that aren't going to meet their needs. So I can go down now and say, well, here's the one, and there's one in Hartford that I could go to. There's one on Wethersfield Avenue. And once I see these resources, I can always click here for more details if I'm looking for additional information. So these three sections on Healthy Lives Connecticut, the goal is to help the users, first of all, identify an issue, to prevent an issue, and to get help with a variety of wellness topics. So that is the purpose of the intro, the learn more, and the resources section of the site. So the need to take this more holistic approach particularly shows itself with the opioid crisis that we're experiencing. So because there are so many factors involved in opioid and other addictions, the treatment industry often recommends this holistic approach that addresses all of a person's needs. If a treatment only addresses the person's physical response to addiction, mental and emotional factors may prevent that person from quitting, or it could encourage a relapse. So about a year ago, United Way of Connecticut was awarded a grant from CHIFA to improve access to information and resources for opioid treatment and addiction services available in Connecticut. And part of this grant, along with help from some other community partners, the money was used to help create this Healthy Lives Connecticut website. And mental health being a key part of our overall health, we wanted to have a screener available, because just like a blood pressure screen helps to detect warning signs, a mental health screening provides sort of a quick, anonymous, and effective way to recognize individuals who are at risk for treatable mental health disorders. So on the left, on the right, we have the option for a user to take an interactive screening. It's so they can come over here to take an anonymous free screening. It's an interactive tool provided by an organization called Mental Health Services. It's available in English and Spanish. Here, the user can switch over to Spanish. And it's a pretty easy way to take, if you're concerned either for yourself or someone else, to answer a few questions and get some answers. So how it works is the user would come down here and choose Take a Screening. They would select one of these options. Right now, there are screenings available for depression, anxiety, adolescent depression, bipolar, alcohol use, post-traumatic stress, eating disorder, and substance abuse. So they would choose one, and let's go with anxiety. First, the user would answer a series of some brief questions about themselves or the person they're concerned about. So it goes through some demographics first. So for example, I will use, I'm interested in I feel my son may have an issue. So I choose his age, he's male, so then it goes through a series of questions that it would ask you. In the past 6 months, have you felt nervous? I feel very nervous. So as you can see, it's simple questions. You know, I'm easily annoyed or irritated. My muscles are tense or tight. In the past 6 months, I've had trouble sleeping. And are these issues affecting my daily life? So once the user has answered the questions, they'll hit submit. And here's where they will be given some results. So according to my responses, it suggests that I have generalized anxieties. And there's always the note that, you know, this is not a substitute for a clinical evaluation and cannot provide an actual diagnosis, but it's a start. So then they can go down here to click on referral information, and here's where they would be able to go to mental health resources, depending on their condition, substance abuse resources, crisis resources, or youth and adults resources. Currently, the screening tool doesn't allow us to really customize the results for each issue. So this is why you see the general list of all resources from mental health to substance abuse to crisis. So once they click there, they would be brought to a page on the 211ct.org site where they could access resources and information. So here, if it were a mental health issue, they could learn more about domestic violence, they could learn about general counseling services or animal-assisted therapy. The screener also gives them the option to email the results or print the results in case maybe this is something they want to share with a friend or a family member, and also through the site articles that may be of interest related to the topic. So here I have some articles on generalized anxiety, managing anxiety and stress, things such as that. So on Healthy Lives Connecticut, this is our online screening tool, but we also give users the option to take other types of screeners, and that you will find here on the home page under Take a Screening or under Emotional Wellness, Take a Screening. Here you will find not only the online screener, but the ASQ screener, which is a screener used to screen children for developmental delays between the ages of 1 month and 5.5 years, as well as mood and feelings questionnaire. These aren't interactive, but we feel that it's important to still offer them to the users. The online screening tool will always be found on every page here on the right. On each page, you will also have a calendar section. And each of these calendar sections is tagged to be relatable to the to the wellness area that you are on. So for example, if I'm on the emotional wellness page, I would see calendar items related to emotional wellness. If I'm on the physical wellness page, I would see calendar items related to physical wellness. So for example, if I were to go to physical wellness, I see here it's Lung Cancer Awareness Month. And when you click on these, you will again be given access to additional resources. The idea is to educate people about these particular topics. So this would bring me to a Lung Cancer Alliance site where I can learn more information. Whoops, broken link. Or cancer.org. The idea being that we really want to give people access to resources where they could find the help that they need. So if they're looking to participate in a walk to fight suicide, they would click on here and see where they could sign up and learn more about that particular emotional health walk. We also allow the users to submit items to be posted on the calendar as well. And on the home page, you can access the full calendar here. But on each page, that calendar would show you items related to that particular wellness area. On the right side, along with the online screening tool, are also our Tumblr and Twitter list links. The purpose of the Tumblr is we wanted to have a way to share articles, photos, text, etc., with with the user in one single location. And similar to the calendar, it is related to the page that you are on. So if right now, you'll see the emotional Tumblr feed, but if you wanted to see the full emotional, because the feed just shows you the top, most recent ones, but if you click on the link, it will bring you to that particular section showing you articles related to emotional health. For example, here it's suicide bereavement trained clinicians, resources for lost survivors, how to be happy, Connecticut 12th happiest state in the US. And you can always toggle back and forth on the Tumblr site between the various wellness categories through the menu on Tumblr. So from here, I can go to the financial Tumblr. And on the financial Tumblr site, I would see articles about why doctors are offering free tax prep in their waiting rooms. I could learn more about individual development account programs. This is a way to have the user think about these types of wellness through relevant current articles, so that they can then also turn back to the Healthy Lives Connecticut site to search for resources. Because once the user reads an article on individual development accounts, they can go back to the financial page and actually search for those resources through the site on the financial wellness section. So it starts a conversation with the user. That is our goal with the Tumblr and the Twitter. So on the Twitter list, instead of having a user go to multiple Twitter pages, we have selected certain Twitter accounts to combine into one Twitter list feed. So for example, on the youth page, if I were to go to the youth page, on their Twitter list feed, we have accounts from the Crisis Text Line, the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, the Buddy Project. So now the user can read these combined posts in one feed without having to go to 4 or 5 individual Twitter accounts. Again, hoping to get a conversation started about wellness on these Twitter list feeds and the Tumblr. One of the things we also felt would be of use to the user is a blog, a monthly blog on a particular wellness topic. So each month, a user will come here and find a new blog, the most recent one being the importance of healthy sleep. One was on suicide prevention awareness, and the other one was on the opioid overdose epidemic. So here is a place where users can come and learn about a current and timely topic. They can read about it, and then typically there will be more resources available for them to learn more. All the pages you may have noticed on the right-hand side offer a section called Need Help Now. Our feeling is that, if you're on a wellness site and you need help immediately, we want to give them that option to say, what do I do? Clearly, if it's an emergency, you're going to dial 911. If you want to speak to someone over the phone who can help you, you would dial 211. If you want to chat online with someone who can help, you would click here. Or you can use the texting option, text CT to 741-741. This is for free 24/7 crisis support. Like all of our websites here at United Way of Connecticut, we don't want to have someone come here who is not, where English isn't their native language. We want them to be able to translate the site, so we offer Google Translate, so that they can access the information and resources with their native language. The website it was a collaborative effort with some community partners that you will find here on the About Us page. We worked for close to a year with these partners, Beacon Health, DCF, DEMAS, the University of New Haven, to put this site together to address overall wellness and the opioid crisis. You will see here also on the About Us page, if you wanted to have a quick tutorial or to show someone a quick tutorial, there is a little video here that very similar to what I just did will walk you through navigating the site. So this would conclude the webinar on Healthy Lives Connecticut. I encourage you to share it with others and to let us know through the contact section on the top of the website if you have any recommendations on how to improve the site, if you feel that something's missing, or calendar events that you would like to see on there. We also have some flyers available about the site. So if anybody would like to put them in their office, let me know and I could mail those out to you. Now, let's look at the Q&A and see if there are any questions. Nope. So if you'd like to if you have any questions, please go ahead and put those in there. I'll wait, I'll stay online a few minutes if you have questions to address those. Otherwise, if you have to pop out, thank you for attending.